You're not lazy. You just haven't learned how to restart. You've promised to wake up early, but hit snooze again. You planned a study schedule, but ended up scrolling. You swore you'd change, but somehow, you fell back into old patterns. And the worst part isn't the delay. It's the feeling of, I failed again. Do I really have to start from scratch? But here's the truth. You're not as lazy as you think. You just haven't mastered the most important skill in personal growth. Right pointing backhand index, the skill of restarting anytime you need to. Bullseye, and that's exactly the power of the 2-minute reset rule. A simple rule that can pull you out of burnout, procrastination, and guilt. You don't need a full hour. You just need 2 minutes to get back on track. Megaphone if you've ever felt like your battery's dead. If you've ever thought I've lost my motivation. This video is for you. And if you want to keep learning breakthrough strategies, practical, science-based, and easy to apply. Right pointing backhand index, hit subscribe now. Because in the next video, we'll unlock your 90-minute focus zone. To protect your energy from distractions and build real momentum. Part 1: Why your brain struggles to restart after procrastination. Here's something interesting about procrastination. It doesn't begin with laziness. It begins with a break in momentum. You were doing well. Then one day, you felt tired. Or busy. Or just not in the mood. So you skipped a day. Then another. And soon you're asking yourself, where do I even begin now? The reason we don't restart? Because we expect a perfect comeback. You don't just want to return. You want to come back strong, on schedule, fully motivated, making up for the days you missed. And that pressure? That's exactly what stops you from starting again. Pushpin, this is called the activation barrier in behavioral psychology. That mental resistance when trying to restart something after breaking the streak. Fire, but here's the good news. Your brain doesn't need a big push. It just needs a gentle nudge. According to research from B.J. Fogg at Stanford University, tiny actions, done at the right moment, have the power to restart habits without relying on willpower. Just 2 minutes. Sitting at your desk. Opening a book. Doing 3 push-ups. These are not about productivity. They're about identity. Your brain doesn't need you to do a lot. It just needs a sign that you're still in the game. Because if you do nothing, your brain assumes, maybe we've really quit this time. But if you act, even for just 2 minutes, your brain gets a very different message. We haven't quit. We just needed a new rhythm. Pushpin, in the next part, I'll show you exactly how to design your 2-minute reset so it's easy, practical, and powerful. But before we go there, right pointing backhand index, drop a comment right now. I don't need a perfect comeback. I just need to come back. I read every comment. Because sometimes, a single decision to return, no matter how small, can change everything. Part 2: Designing a reset system, 2 minutes to reactivate your action and identity. Now that you understand, the thing holding you back isn't laziness. It's the heavy weight of starting over. So how do you turn just 2 minutes into a powerful bridge? From stuck, back into motion? The answer isn't more effort. It's a better system. A system that activates you even when your motivation is nowhere to be found. 1. Behavioral neurowiring, restart from the smallest action. In your brain, there's a principle called a behavioral gateway. When you perform a tiny, repeatable action, you activate the decision-making part of your brain and suppress the emotional resistance from the limbic system. In simple terms, a small action, done at the right moment, can break the procrastination cycle instantly. Repeat button 2. Your first 2 minutes don't need results, they need rhythm. One big mistake people make when returning is thinking, I need to catch up. Write a full page. Work out for 30 minutes. Finish a full lesson. That's pressure, not progress. Instead, try this. Just open the file you were working on. Do 3 push-ups, no more. Type this sentence: "This is my sign of return." Pushpin: these 2 minutes are not about productivity. They're your ritual of returning. 3. Real-life 2-minute resets, simple, powerful examples. Studying: sit down, open the book, read just the section title. Exercise: put on workout clothes, walk for 2 minutes around the block. Writing: open your doc and type, "I'm back at it." Reading: set a 2-minute timer and read only during that time. Meditation: sit down, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths. Bullseye: these small actions are not random. They are identity signals, tiny reminders that say, "I'm still the person who doesn't give up on myself." 4. Why a quick reset helps you build lasting habits. According to Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, long-term habits don't come from intensity. They come from easy re-entry. Meaning, you don't need to do more. You just need to not stay stuck for too long. Speech balloon transformation: 2 minutes isn't to catch up, it's to reconnect with who you are. You don't need to force yourself every time you feel off track. You just need to breathe instead of blame. Start small instead of overcompensating. Say "I'm touching base" instead of "I lost all progress." Pushpin: that touch, that 2-minute reset. Isn't much, but it's enough. If you're feeling stuck, tired, or disconnected, white right pointing back hand index, don't try to restart as if nothing happened. Just grab a timer. Set it for 2 minutes. And do the smallest, lightest, kindest thing you can do. That is not just action. That's self-rescue. Bullseye: if this part resonates with you, drop a comment below and say, "I'm coming back," even if it's just 2 minutes at a time. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because in the next part, we'll cover white right pointing back hand index. Don't skip the second step: how to maintain momentum after restarting and avoid losing steam midway. Part 3, turning 2 minutes into a system, apply it to real life. When you hear just 2 minutes, you might think, can that really make a difference? But here's the truth. Pushpin: it's not the length of time that changes your life. White right pointing back hand index: it's the moment you act and how you act, even if just for a few minutes. Below are everyday situations where the 2-minute reset rule can rescue your momentum before things go off track. Scenario 1: I'm not as excited as I was at the start. You started learning a new skill: English, coding, blogging. Week 1 was great. Week 2 got busy. Week 3, motivation disappeared. Instead of waiting for inspiration to return, try this. Sit down at your desk. Play a short 2-minute audio from your course. Don't aim to understand or take notes, just reconnect with the habit. Pushpin: in behavioral science, this is called exposure activation. Just re-exposing your brain to the action starts reconnecting neural pathways. Personal computer scenario 2: every time I sit at my desk, I open YouTube. You know you should work, study, right? But your hand auto-opens YouTube, social media, anything except what you need to do. Instead of forcing 3 hours of focus, use the 2-minute control reset. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Stay inside your work file, do not leave it. Don't aim to complete, just hold your focus there. This is called a commitment anchor, anchoring your brain to the right action before distractions take control. Run a # scenario 3, I haven't worked out in ages. You used to go to the gym. Then life happened. Now your body feels off, but restarting feels intimidating. Bullseye: don't try to jump back into full workouts. Instead, design your first return to be easy. Walk around the house for 2 minutes. Stretch, no sweat needed. Write in your journal, "I'm back." Pushpin: that simple signal tells your brain, I didn't quit. I just paused. Person in bed scenario 4, I feel lazy. I don't want to do anything. Some days, you're drained. Tired. Zero energy. Zero willpower. You don't need to force yourself. But you do need to stay connected to yourself. Pick one micro action. Tidy up one item. Play calm music. Wash a single dish. Just 2 minutes. No pressure to continue. This is called self-regulation reboot, resetting your self-direction using a simple, controlled act. Blue Book Scenario 5, I've already missed 3 days. It feels hopeless. This is the toughest one, not because you've been gone long, but because you're thinking, is it even worth it anymore? Bullseye, that's exactly when the 2-minute reset can save you. Do something you used to do at the very start, make it simple. Write one line in your journal. Listen to a 2-minute podcast clip. Open the app you once used. Pushpin, what you're doing isn't restarting the whole journey. You're just cracking open the door again. You don't need to go far. You just need to not let it stay shut. The most important question, what 2 minutes could save me today? Pause. Breathe. And ask yourself, if I only had 2 minutes right now, what would I do to reconnect? Then do it. Not more. Not less. Just enough to protect the version of yourself you're building. Speech balloon if you've ever faced any of these scenarios. Comment this below. My scenario is, and I'll come back with 2 minutes by doing. I'll pin the most inspiring comments, so others can learn from your courage to return. Part for Liam's story, just 2 minutes that saved his whole journey. Liam is a 29-year-old software engineer. He had a long list of intentions. Start a tech blog. Learn soft skills. Get fit, sleep better. But like many of us, most of Liam's efforts only lasted 3 to 5 days. He would start, then stop. And every time he paused, he told himself, this always happens. I get excited, then disappear. Maybe I just don't have the discipline. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Eventually, Liam gave up on self-improvement altogether. He went back to old routines, gaming after work, scrolling endlessly, sleeping late. Until one day, he came across a phrase. You don't need a full comeback. You just need a 2-minute restart. He wasn't expecting much. But he tried something simple. Sat down at his desk. Opened the draft blog post he abandoned. And wrote just one sentence. I'm back here after 3 weeks, just to sit and write for 2 minutes. That day, he wrote only 2 sentences. No milestones. No breakthroughs. But something quietly shifted. Because in his brain, that tiny action sent a signal. I haven't lost the identity I was building. I just took a pause. And now, I'm returning, just in time. A few days later, Liam came back for 2 more minutes. A week later, he wrote every night, sometimes just 5 minutes. That one habit started spilling over into his workouts, better sleep, and reading again. Not because he found new motivation, but because he stopped letting one wrong day become a wrong month. He later wrote in his journal, I'm still someone who procrastinates. But I've learned one thing. If I return soon enough, and gently, I don't lose myself. So if you're in the middle of a journey you think you've already quit, remember this. Pushpin, you don't need a perfect return. You just need to come back, in time. Even if it's just for 2 minutes. A single line. A step out the door. A tap to reopen the app. One small action could save the version of you you're trying to become. Megaphone comment below. I'll return with 2 minutes today. I'll pin the most heartfelt responses. Because I believe you don't need much. You just need one right return at the right time. Final part, what you need isn't a new beginning. It's a timely return. ****. Maybe you've missed more than once. Maybe you've given up on a few goals. And maybe you're thinking, I've fallen too far off track. But remember this. Pushpin, you don't fail because you missed a day. You fail because you let it stretch into another one. And if you've been waiting for a sign to return, this video is that sign. You don't need an hour. You don't need to feel ready. White right pointing back hand index, you just need 2 minutes, right now. Bullseye, every small action you take today is a brick laid back on the path you thought was lost. You don't need to move fast. You just need to return before you lose connection with yourself. Megaphone call to action. If this video awakened something in you, drop a comment below. I don't need a fresh start. I just need to return in 2 minutes. And if you want to keep walking this journey with simple, science-backed tools to grow into your best self, white right pointing back hand index, hit subscribe. White right pointing back hand index, turn on the bell so you won't miss the next video in the series. The don't skip the second step rule, the key to keeping momentum once you've restarted. Pushpin, 1 step today. 2 ordinary minutes. But they could become the biggest turning point in your entire journey.